Alrighty, well I got a new project that I'm going to be starting to work on. I just picked up this 2015 EZGO RXV electric golf cart. The only thing that has been upgraded is they actually threw in a brand new set of wheels and tires for me because I wanted to upgrade them anyway. So I put the biggest size on there that you could get without a lift kit. These are the 20 by 8-10 turf tires on steel wheels, new steel wheels. It's got a little bit of dust on it from driving around, but original batteries, and like I said, it's a off-leased, you know, it was on a golf course for a couple of years, and then they trade them all back in, get new ones every few years, and then sell them. This is a 48 volt cart. Batteries are 71% still, so they hold 71% of the original charge, which is decent. They should have, you know, with proper maintenance, a couple more years left in them. Alright, so I picked this one up. You may be wondering the price. This was $2,800. And after doing a lot of looking around, shopping around, I think that was a very good, fair price, especially considering it had the new wheels and tires. If I wanted one, if I would have bought one, they had the exact same ones with the lights already installed, you know, front and rear headlights, and they had lights, and then they had the rear seat. They wanted, it was well over $1,000 more for that. They were the same, you know, 2015, and then if you wanted one with all the options, the lights, the rear seat, and brand new batteries, we were pushing $5,000. So huge price difference. Now a set of batteries can run anywhere from, you know, $800 to $1,000. So it's not like they were crazy prices, but I'm trying to spread this out a little bit, and like everything I do, kind of budget-minded, cash type deal. So do a little bit of work on it myself. I'm going to save a ton of money. So I also wanted the lights in the front and rear. I want a horn, and I want the rear seat so it can haul some passengers on the back that flips up into a cargo area. And I'm going to be going through installing all these accessories, showing you how I do that. So I'm going to be upgrading this with lights, and on the front I'm going to go with LEDs all the way around, LEDs front and rear. And I don't really like the stock setup for the RXV, so I'm going with something a little bit different, so you'll get to see that here. And then I'm going to be adding the rear seat. I'm going to show you how I do that. I'm going to be adding a horn, and then honestly one of the most important things that these don't come with, I'm going to be adding a power meter. It's basically like a fuel gauge for your batteries, and the one I'm adding is an upgraded model, but it's plug and play supposedly, and it will show you your you know, basically it'll give you different stats like the percentage of charge, the voltage, stuff like that. So stick around, and I'm going to show you how all that's installed. Alright, so here's the first thing. I'm going to start working on the rear foldable seat. This is the brand. Got it on eBay. It's a couple $100, which isn't bad considering it had free shipping and it was over 100 pounds. So yeah, so it's powder coated steel. It's got the same color seats as the cart. You can get whatever color you want, but I went with the same stone color. So I'm going to get this started, get this installed. Hopefully it's not too hard. Alright, well the nice thing is they do include pretty good instructions with pictures. And it is pretty involved. You have to take off the whole top, the rear struts, you have to take off the motor cover. So yeah, a little involved, but doesn't look too hard. Just follow the instructions. So kept working. It's getting dark, but got this part wrapped up here. Folding seat. It actually wasn't too hard, just a lot of steps. And you just grab the handle, fold it down. It's got this nice steel bed, like a plastic diamond plate on it. It's actually, the whole thing's pretty sturdy. Just fold that back up. You get your seat for your passengers. Alright, next project on the golf cart. Next phase is the lights. So here's what one of the headlights looks like. And it's a lot different than the factory looking RXV headlights, which is why I like it. So I went with that. Here's a tail light. Comes with a full wiring harness, which is nice. And the wiring harness is for more than just the lights, so you can add on, you know, the horn that we bought. Gonna work with that. And here's our templates to cut out for the front headlight, the rear tail lights, and you flip them around for the other side. So I'm gonna get started on that right now. Alright, so I'm getting this wired up, and there's a few considerations, especially when you're doing this install on a 48 volt electric golf cart. Main thing is all of our accessories run on 12 volts. The golf cart is 48 volts. So you'll see some people where they'll just connect to one battery, and one 12 volt battery in this case, and that may work, but problem is then one battery will be drawn down more than the others, and what can happen is in a modern cart that has a computer like this one, it can sense that there's an issue and slam on the brakes or do other weird things. So that's not the way to do it. So what we've done is I've installed a 48 to 12 volt converter. They're under $20, so there's no excuse not to spend the money and do it right. So basically I just switched voltage off the solenoid, so when you turn the cart on, reverse, neutral, forward position, this will get energized. It goes through a 30 amp fuse into the converter, and then comes off our 48 volt negative off the last battery, goes into there. After it comes out, it runs over, there's another set of positive and negative wires. I've got it running through another 20 amp fuse, since this is rated for 20 amps total, which will be more than enough to do on my lights and horn, and if I want to add something in the future. It's going to run over to the other side, and it will interface. I'll just connect it in with the 12 volts input wires for the kit, the wiring harness for the kit. So pretty simple, but it takes a little bit of wiring. The dashboard pulled apart here. You can see I've got everything kind of laid in place. I've got my headlight switch installed. It's pretty easy. Got my horn switch installed on the floor. The horn plugs right into the harness. Alright, there it is. Got the lights installed. Now it's time to test everything out, and then we'll button it all back together. So I got my wiring ran over here, and then it splits into the harness. Harness runs over under right here. And I go up and under the dash there. There is a extra wire here for a brake light switch. I did not get the brake light switch, so I might have to look into that in the future. I can always just come back and tie that in. That way when you push on the brake pedal, the brake lights come on. Here's that. There's our horn switch down there. That just comes through right here and then splits off, and then the horn, I mounted it right behind the grill, and then it runs up and plugs directly into the harness. Let's go ahead and try this stuff out. Turns on our power, converter comes on, pull our headlight switch. So our headlights are on. back. Got tail lights. Try our horn. Got a horn. Alright, now we'll get it buttoned up, but that's how you do it. Just takes a lot of time to disconnect everything and unhook everything. And the kit did not come with any instructions, so I kind of had to wing it here and there to decide where the wires went. There are some videos online though, you can, of people doing these installations, you can watch, but they're all kind of different depending on the manufacturer of the harness. Like my harness here has some extra connections, which is nice for a 12 volt cigarette lighter outlet, and that I could put either here or down here, so I may do that in the future, just so you can charge your phone or something in here. But that's it for now. The one other thing I'm going to show here in a second is how to install the fuel gauge for your batteries. Alright, so now that I've got the horn and the lighting and the roof and everything else installed, last thing I'm going to be doing is adding this state of charge meter or electronic fuel gauge for the RXV, and it goes in the dash here. And it includes a harness that makes it somewhat plug and play, but since I have a 2015 model, there's a little bit of special instructions here that we have to follow, and it's not too hard. It just requires taking a wire that's in the cup holder and extending it up to the dashboard. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut a 2-inch hole for this in the dash. I'll probably put it right in the middle. So after I get that done, I will start wiring it up. Alright, so we're going to drill a 2-inch hole for the meter. Look at it, make sure it looks right. And then there's a 1/2-inch hole that we're going to drill on the bottom. It will be for the switch that lets you cycle through the functions, different functions. I'm going to try a 31/64 bit first, because that maybe the 1/2 inch, it might be a little too big. We'll find out though. Alright, so behind the dash here you can see there's a plug that matches up to this plug that they include. Alright, so just to clarify this look, we had to build, since we have a 2015, had to build this little extension harness here for the V plus that will run down to the 48 volt wire right here that is in under the glove box area. It's a red wire that's just there from the factory, and then the rest of these, your yellow wire goes into the R terminal. Number 3 is the black wire, which will run to this harness and then down to the button. And then number 4, there's this little jumper lead they give you here, and that runs to the other contact on the button. So I'm going to go ahead and slide it through this way. Alright, so here's what everything looks like installed. Got the wires neatly run through the front along with the factory wiring. Comes down. Just that one little jumper connects there that I made. So when you turn the key on, so it happens. See your display. Shows how full your batteries are. Mounted the button right underneath here, so if I press the button, that's your percentage of your battery that you have left. This is your total hours. This is a new gauge, 0. This voltage, say percentage, is where I'll leave it most of the time. Alright, so just to recap on what we've done real quick, we installed a set of headlights and taillights. We did not install turn signals or brake lights at this time because I'm not planning on driving this anywhere on the road. So we have our headlights or taillights. We installed our rear seat that folds down into a cargo bed, which is nice. And I'll leave links to all the parts I used. That was only $200 some. The headlight kit was about $156, and I went for a nicer kit, and it included, you know, the deluxe harness, so I can add. It made it easy to add the horn, which we also installed the horn. We installed, last but not least, the battery meter. Alright, so got that on. It says 87%. We can scroll through our usage. These headlights are nice because they are able to be aimed just by using this one screw right here. You can turn it, aim the headlights up and down. So tonight I will try out the headlights, see how they look. So yeah, so for much cheaper than buying the upgraded golf cart from the dealer, I was able to make my own the way I wanted it, and then in the future I can add some other accessories. And then obviously the one other accessory I added was a USB charging port right here, so you can plug in your phone and charge it while you're out. Alright, well, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Maybe it gave you some ideas what you can do to your EZGO golf cart, but this applies to pretty much any golf cart. They're all similar. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. Be sure to subscribe, like the video if it helped you, and we'll see you next time.